ACAC. This is a game that really we've been looking forward to since week one, and as the team stayed undefeated, it's only gotten more and more interesting. We're talking about South Adams hosting Adams Central. Both teams undefeated, both teams ranked in 1A. Both teams have great non-conference wins against ranked teams when Adams Central went on the road to beat LaPel, and then South Adams pretty well took care of Monroe Central last week.
Yeah.
How do you see this one playing out?
I thought I knew how it was going to play out before last Friday's game with South Adams and Monroe Central, and with which the Starfires just dominated a team that was ranked in the top 3 in Class 1A. So now I feel this game could play a little closer than I thought it would. So I was ready to pencil Adams Central in to win this conference. South Adams, I think, is capable of giving them a game. And then, of course, that Week 9 game against Woodland. The way Woodland is playing, I think they're finding themselves rounding into form. So Woodland, you look, they're all going to play each other, right, starting this week. So
right.
Woodland has South Adams Week 8, Adams Central Week 9. Of course, we get the Adams Showdown this week. So a lot of round robin about to happen in the ACAC. We'll find out more on Friday night.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize Woodland, because they've played 3 conference games and are 3-0, they're actually atop the conference standings right now. Because most people look at AC and South Adams so far.
Yeah, and you have Woodland playing that Lima Central Catholic game in Week 7. So we're going to find out a lot about where the Warriors are. They're kind of in the, I don't want to say soft, but the weaker part of their schedule right now. It's going to pick up starting next week for the Warriors.
I think it's a good time for them to hit that because they got hit in the mouth a little bit in the non-conference.
Yeah. And
because they were replacing so many bodies, it was nice to kind of ease in to a certain degree to the ACAC schedule and get things rolling before they took on some of the more established programs in that conference.
Yep.
One of the things that concerns me, I guess if you look historically, in the last 3 games between South Adams and Adams Central, AC's outscored them 113-24.
That's significant.
No, that's significant. Those are obviously different teams, different mentalities, but you can't throw out the history. So I don't know. This feels like more of a toss-up, like you said, than it felt 2-3 weeks ago.
I think Adams Central has the advantage in terms of senior leadership. As a senior-laden team, they're even-keeled. They come into every game and approach it the same. I think South Adams comes on an emotional high after last week's game. Younger group of guys. They're going to play more into that emotion. Is it positive emotion on Friday night, or does overzealousness emotion lead to turnovers and mistakes? Because South Adams needs to play a near-perfect game to have a shot to beat Adams Central. So that's where I think it's at. I think Adams Central has the experience, has been here before, big games. South Adams, a lot of these guys a little different. How do they feed off that emotional victory last week, proving people wrong? Can they take it into this week, in which it really counts for the ACAC?
One of the things that I really like about South Adams, though, is that they've had a little time to figure out things without Nick Stuber.
Yeah.
So they've kind of got people, the pieces that they would, the pieces lined up so that it isn't just right off the injury. Plus, I think the Arnold kid might be the best quarterback in the ACAC.
That's a bold statement, but
I like him. I like him a lot.
Not agree, and he sets a school record last week for passing yards in a single game. Arnold does, and that was an interesting, position because Stuber was getting playing time there a little bit earlier in the year. Now with Stuber out, Arnold is the #1, no doubt, guy behind center, and he's taken it and ran with it and played tremendously well. So it's at home. South Adams, I remember being at the game last year with Woodland, and they were just so emotionally excited about that game, and then Woodland just came and kind of took control from the beginning. Does that happen on Friday, or can South Adams hang around? Longer it's close, the better you got to feel as a Starfire fan.
In the NECC, not a lot of great matchups, real lopsided games. Busco at Fremont, Fairfield at Angola, Garrett at West Noble might be a good one. Lakeland at Central Noble also might be good. Prairie Heights is at Eastside. But heading into Week 6, what are you most looking forward to about the games this Friday and what you're trying to kind of see at this point as we are, 2/3 of the way through the regular season?
Garrett West Noble, I think, could be a sneaky good one, like you mentioned. I think Garrett, this is one of those seasons with the Railroaders, so young with Coach Chris DePue, is looking back when in 2019, 2020, they're going to point to this season and say, we didn't win a fair amount of games, but we battled. They nearly beat Eastside last week. They were ahead of Cherubusco in the second half. I mean, you can see that those guys have some talent. They're just so young, they cannot play a complete 4 quarters. So I think watching Garrett as they get better, this could be a game where they surprise some people by winning a game on the road at West Noble, because I think this team has the talent, just hasn't figured out how to win yet Maybe they do this week.
Yeah, that exactly plays into the train game. They're up 20-7 in the fourth quarter. Eastside makes a couple of drives, goes down and wins it, and Garrett loses by 1. But yeah, they had them on the ropes.
Yeah.
And they were at home, and things were rolling. Maybe they can use that, parlay that into some more success down the road. But that will do it for this week's edition of Inside the Zone. He's Justin. I'm Glenn. We'll see you next Monday here on Wayne.com.